Electoral College, which is in practice already, then that's one issue. But with a legislative council with only very passive power to monitor the administration, I don't see that indirect election could hold the legislator more accountable to Hong Kong people. And one more point on the district council option. Emily and I just visited the Central European countries in September. They are Hungary, Croatia, and Czech Republic. And their experience is that when representative from the local administration had an extra position in the parliament, then they are in a much better position to bid for more funding and get more advantage on the national budget to their own district or constituency, which is very unfair to the other when they do not have a representative in the parliament. So that's the one point that I would like to draw your attention to. When the district council election is the entry ticket to legislative council, then the members so elected would put his small district interest above public interest. And when we talk about town planning or unpleasant but necessary communal facility, it would be brought to unnecessary heated debate. So that's one thing that we have to be aware of. And I don't care who get elected, but we have to get the system right, and let's prevent some problem that would arise from the district council option in advance.
Thank you. I think the district council option is a non-option. First of all, if we have somebody from the ICAC here, which is the Independent Commission Against Corruption, and we've been giving them a hard time all afternoon, they will tell you that if you have such a small circle election, it would be very prone to corruption. They have actually said so in the council several years ago. If you only have 400 people voting, whereas if you have 400,000 or more people voting, chances of you buying vote and doing that would be less. So any kind of election by a very small number of people is very, very prone to, is open to corruption. The other thing about electing district councillors and then asking them to elect legislators. And Anthony Cheung said, well, we're going to have the election in 2011 and everything will be very clear, so you go and cast your vote and you know whoever gets in will also have that extra power. And then if people like it and you know that you get elected, and then you can take the process forward. Well, I mean, we in the Democratic Party, of course, will continue to take part in the district council elections. And we work in the district, and we know what's happening on the ground. If you have political parties and groups which have limitless funding and who have people who stand for election on a full-time basis, we're just talking about district councillors, but these candidates or would-be candidates are working full-time. You tell me, how many of the Hong Kong people you know are willing and able to do that? I can tell you, within my party, it's very difficult to get our members to just give up everything and just go and work, in quote, full-time until the election in November of 2011. Well, of course, they've got to feed themselves and the family. Where's the money coming from? Well, we've got the whole of the People's Republic of China and all the tycoons. Limitless funding. And the things that they do, the services they offer. To quote some of my colleagues, not from the Democratic Party, saying they offer so many things in the district. Maybe the only thing they don't offer are coffins. Whatever you name it, they'll have it for you. They deliver it to your home. Oil, rice, everything. And you can have a package tour to the mainland for less than $100 for 3 days. Can our party offer this? No way. So these are our opponents. And so when the time comes, if we do not win too many seats, don't be surprised. You have been adequately warned. And that's the way they want to play politics in Hong Kong, throwing all the money at the people. But I guess in the LegCo election, the voters may have different considerations. I hope so. This way of corrupting the political process is very despicable. We look at what happened in Taiwan and we condemn it. And we hope that it won't happen here, but it's happening before our very eyes. It is not even election bribery, because there's no election in sight. It's just that they're offering holidays, package tour every day. It's not as if you only have it on Sunday. You go to some housing estates, they have it every day. You have meals, endless round of entertainment. Just go out and have a look. Who can offer that? Well, not the Democratic Party and many of our allies. And that's the game that they're playing. And you say, oh, we will give the extra power to people who will emerge from this process. I said, no way.
Any more questions?
Yes.
This lady?
Suzanne Pepper, could you, no, I don't speak loudly. Could you please answer Emily's charge? Because I really, no, please. I'm trying to see you. I don't understand. You said in the elections, in the coming elections, the people will know that they're going to be voting for district councillors that will have more power. But how can people overcome the advantage? Democrats cannot overcome the advantage. After all, the DAB and Conservative allies control all of the district councils at present, except one or two, right?
Well,
so how is that going to be a fair election? All you're really going to do is add, what, 5 or 6 seats for the Conservatives in LegCo. That is not, that may be free, but it's not fair.
Yeah, well, I am not from the DAB, so but I think there's a limit to. I'm not saying that what Emily said is not an issue that we should face if we are going to have fair elections. So, but as I said, technically, if it's before election time, different parties, they are endowed in different ways, they can do what they want to do, so you may argue, are we really having fair election? I mean, this is the same argument for all political scientists about elections. In Japan, in the US, sometimes, Taiwan for that matter, you know whether you can win an election by how much you can spend on an election. I think that is something that, I mean, many systems are aware of. But my question to Emily is, I mean, for the sake of argument, I'm not saying what you said is not entirely valid, but for the sake of argument, if that's the case, even if you have full universal suffrage, you will lose. Because you believe that the voters, they go for a picnic, and then they will vote for the DAB or for whichever party. I don't think voters are as simplistic as that. Go back to 2003, after the July 1st protest, the November election, Cyd, when you won the Cyd over Lee Kuan-yew. Now, in that election, the DAB was considered to suffer a great loss, despite all the picnics, the free lunches. So what happened in 2003?